Hey everyone, in today's video, we're talking about my favorite books on Social Security. If you're serious about your retirement plan, you need to understand how this program works. You know, I've never heard someone tell me that their Social Security benefit just wasn't that important to them. Now, maybe someone when they're younger did, but not a retiree. In the 16 years I've spent as a financial planner, I've advised clients who are very wealthy and those who are of much more modest means. All of them have been very concerned that they maximize this income stream to its fullest. And if you look at the data, it's easy to see why. When you consider both married and unmarried retirees, 62% rely on Social Security for half of their income. So again, if you're really serious about your retirement plan, and I know that you are, you need to understand how Social Security works. Thankfully, there are some fantastic books out there that break this topic down and make it easier to understand. And after reading dozens of them myself, I'm going to tell you the 5 that you need to add to your library today. Now, you can visit my Amazon store and see all 5 books on one page, but I'll link that up in the description below so you don't have to worry about keeping notes. First, I'll start with 2 that are great at giving you the fundamentals. These 2 books will help you build a solid foundation for the slightly heavier reading that's going to follow. The good part is they're both around 100 pages, so you can read these quickly and then read them again to really lay the foundation and get it in deep. So the first book is Mike Piper's Social Security Made Simple. It's a short read, but it hits the surface of a lot of topics within Social Security. He breaks this book down into 3 parts. Part 1 is about 27 pages and speaks in very clear and concise terms about how benefits are calculated and how you can qualify for them. Part 2 is about the same length and turns up the dial a little bit with rules for less common situations. He talks about Social Security for divorced spouses, children's benefits, the earnings limit, and even the windfall elimination provision and the government pension offset. And that's for those individuals who worked at a job where they did not pay Social Security taxes. But my personal favorite is Part 3. This is where he gets into the when to file question. He talks about how a single person should approach this decision, how married couples should coordinate benefits, and then in Chapter 13, he addresses taking Social Security early to invest it. Good stuff in Mike Piper's book. The second book on my list is my own. I know, that's somewhat self-serving, but I included this book because I do think it's one of the best books out there that covers the fundamentals. If you read my book and Mike's book together, you're going to have a deep understanding of the basics and probably be smarter than most financial advisors. Now, I don't try to get fancy in this book. I simply wanted to take the most relevant parts of Social Security and put them in a book that was very easy to understand. I found over the years that most of the Social Security questions that I receive can easily be answered with a good knowledge of just 9 Social Security basics. And that's what this book covers. With book number 3, we start to get a little deeper. It's Get What's Yours, the secret to maxing out your Social Security. This is the only Social Security book that I know of that's made it on to the New York Times bestseller list. Now, this book was written by 3 authors. All of them are Social Security experts in their own right, and is the perfect book to read after you've read the first 2 on my list. This book is conversational, but the subject matter really is pretty dense, and in my opinion, chapters 16 and 17 make this book worth it. This is where they cover the 50 good news secrets to higher lifetime benefits, and then the 50 bad news gotchas that can reduce your benefits forever. There could easily be one thing you read in those 2 chapters that will make that book purchase well worth it. All right, so the last 2 books are similar not only in size, but in material presented. If you ever have a disagreement with the Social Security Administration, these 2 books will be your secret weapon. However, I do think that they are unlike each other enough to warrant having both of them in your collection. Now, I'm already a big fan of the Big Yellow Dummies books. The Dummies series, if you're not familiar with it, is the platform where They have learning of all different sorts, and they try to make everything easy by transforming something that's hard to understand into something that's easy to use. The Social Security version, Social Security for Dummies, continues what they've already done with other complex subjects. Now, I personally think the best part of this book is part 5. It has a lot of information throughout the entire book, but chapter 15, which is the first part of part 5, covers some of the myths about Social Security and replaces them with facts. Now, if many of you have watched my videos for long, you know how I feel about some of these Social Security myths. Then chapter 16 talks about the 10 reasons why younger people should have a big stake in Social Security and be involved in the policy choices that's coming up in the next few years. And it's finished up by chapter 17, which talks about the choices that the nation has facing it with the future of Social Security. The last book in my list is detailed and comprehensive, but it's very easy to read. This is The Inside Story by Andy Landis. I absolutely love this book. You know, the author actually worked for the Social Security Administration for over a decade, and it shows almost as soon as you open the book. It's full of examples, graphics, and website links that back up what the author is saying and gives you confidence that you're on the right path. I personally use this book as my go-to reference when I hit a complex issue that raises a question. This book does not have to be read all at once either. It's big, as you can see, but you can use this as a topical reference for answering questions that come up. Whether you're an individual retiree or an advisor, you need to have this on your shelf. You know, I'll admit, having to narrow down this list to my top 5 books wasn't easy at all. There are some other great books out there, but this is where I would like your feedback. In addition to the books I've recommended here, what Social Security books do you think I should add to the list? If you would, leave the book title and your thoughts in the comments below. Hey, and one last thing, in the spirit of full disclosure, if you buy any of these books through the link I've put below, where we've got all of these linked up, I'll get paid a small fee from Amazon. I'll remind you, as I always do, this is your retirement. Please continue to learn and stay informed, because no one is going to feel the pain of retirement planning mistakes like you will. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.